What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to part number 3 of Pep Guardiola trapped at a non-league club. This is going to be the final instalment. We have 13 years to cover today, which is quite a lot of time, so we're going to get through this quickly. And of course, Pep is managing Boston United still. Last time we left things, they had made it to the National League. If you want to see how we got to this point, check out parts 1 and 2. They are going to be linked down below in the video description. And, well, you can see here, last season they finished 6th in 2031. That was where we left things. However, in 2032, he's done it again. He's gotten into the playoff for a second year in a row. And looking at things here, he's only gone and blooming got them promoted, everyone. Boston United, playoff winners. And that's pretty shocking, isn't it? Just looking at things here, what formation have they played? It's the go-to first thing to check. They played a 4-1-4-1, and oh my word, they did not win a game in March. Wow, were they really high in the league and then nearly bottled it? I mean, I'm looking at this form after January, and it's absolutely awful. And then, did they change anything? No, they didn't change anything tactically. They just grinded out some wins. They beat Maidstone 2-1, Stockport 2-0, and then Yeovil in the final. They were able to beat 3-1 to get back to the Football League. At the second time of asking. Second time they've made it to the playoff. Second time lucky. Looking at things here. A 3-1 win in the final. Very convincing performance. Andrew Robinson was their top goal scorer in the final. He got 2 of the 3 goals they scored. 10 all season. So he came hot when it mattered. I'm really curious to check the past league positions here, because they look really strong, and indeed they were really strong. They were in second, semi-consistently throughout the year, but they really fell off a cliff, Boston, with their form. How did they do in cup competitions? Did they play any different systems? They did. Okay, they played a 5-2-3 against, Bournemouth in the FA Cup. Okay, so they went on a little bit of an FA Cup run. Unfortunately, they did lose in it. If we just look here, the FA Trophy. Where did they go in the FA Trophy? They got to the semi-final. The FA Trophy is kind of a knockout competition for all the non-league clubs in England, for people who are perhaps not so familiar with how it works. So, wow, Boston back to the to the Football League. They were predicted to finish 8th, they've come 6th, and they've managed to win the playoffs. Pep's still not in the favourite personnel, but fair play, Pep. That is one hell of an achievement. Oh, I'm quite excited to see what they're going to do now. We'll go forward 1 year initially. Obviously, with this being the final part, it might be a slightly longer video, but I do want to rattle through things. Let's go have a look. Pep, Football League, how you got on, my friend? Is anyone else getting a sense of deja vu here? Pep gets an unlikely promotion, and then Boston win 3 games all season. Of course, they can't sack Pep Guardiola. They can't get rid of him for another 12 years. Oh my, they've done so badly. 23 points in the entire season. Pep, what did you do? Did you just play the same... He needs to realise that he needs to adapt. He's just not adapted. He tried against Bournemouth. It didn't really work. He's given up since then. They lost in the FA Cup first round to Bolton. And then, I mean, it's just sad. It's just sad. They've not won anything. Did they spend any money with them coming up to the Football League? They did. They signed Herbie Kane from Bolton. Is that a former Liverpool Herbie Kane? Because I feel like he's actually quite a good player. I mean, he's tailed off a little bit, hasn't he? What a crazy career this is. So many times he's been transferred. It's not really worked out for him here at Boston, has it? He's already transfer listed, bless him. It's not ideal. I'm just wondering, how did Boston's finances compare to other teams? Because, of course, they are kind of the new kids on the block. They aren't going to have perhaps as much money as some teams. And, well, you can see here, actually, looking at things, massively, massively below all the other teams in the league in terms of their actual wages. Their players, whilst they're earning a little bit of money, not earning a huge amount. Similar situations before, actually, where Boston have built a squad where kind of the first team is contracted and the second team, a lot of them are still on amateur deals. I'm just wondering, did they go professional after their promotion? Of course, we saw last time that they went back to semi-pro, and it does look like they did actually go back to being pro last summer. And it just hasn't worked for them, sadly. So back down to the Vanarama National you go, Pep. Can he get back? Can he get... I mean, he did it before, right? He did it before that year where they finished 24th in the National League. They've just done the same in League 2. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go forward 3 years here. That will take us to 2026 with 9 years left. Pep, get them back to the Football League. You owe them. You've been absolutely awful again. So we're in the year 2036. You know that we're in the future now because all the key people are just different regens. Pep Guardiola is still manager. It would be a little bit concerning if we came back before 2045 and he just wasn't here anymore. Things haven't gone to plan for Boston, of course, just relegated. Last few seasons, it hasn't gone particularly well for them. You can see here, they made it into the playoffs this most recent year, but let's just have a look back, shall we? So, first season after they were relegated, they finished third. So this was the 2033-34 season. They finished 5 points behind Hereford and 6 points behind Aldershot. How did they do in the playoffs? I mean, fair play to Hereford for winning the playoffs. Boston did not make it to the finals. They lost in the semi-finals to Yeovil. So that was a disappointment. And then the year after that, if we just take a peek at things, they finished way down the table, did they? Where are they? Where are you, Boston? I can't even see them. 16th, that's why I can't see them. That is a fall from grace. But this most recent year, they've come 7th, but they've not won the playoff. How did they do in the playoff? They didn't make it to the final. The semi-final? No. Knocked out in the first round. Pep, 2 playoffs in 3 years to get them back to the Football League. He's failed every single time. I mean, suddenly the momentum to immediately bounce back kind of feels like it's gone, doesn't it? If we just look at the general situation here, predicted to finish 12th, so the team just simply isn't good enough. Possible takeover on the cards, though, is a little bit interesting. Just looking at things here, they've had a fair few takeovers over recent years. Clearly, there's some weirdness going on with the ownership at Boston United. They just don't like to stick around. Pep is kind of the one constant right now. And, well, since their relegation from the Sky Bet League 2, nothing's happened. They're not achieving anything. What are they spending in terms of transfer budget per window? So, wow, they sold Matthew York to Colchester. How good is Matthew York? He's pretty blooming good, isn't he? They picked him up on a freebie from Manchester United. Was he a big reason for them getting promoted? Actually, it looks like he joined after they got to the Football League. He then stayed at the club to try and get them back and failed and has now left. It's just a bit sad, isn't it? Boston, what formation are you? They're just playing the same system. Is it just me who's getting annoyed that Pep hasn't adapted? I feel like he should adapt more, but I wonder how, I don't know how Football Manager does the formation stuff. You'd think there would come a point where he would be a bit more adaptable. Of course, this is a completely kind of freak scenario that's never ever going to happen in real life, so it's hard to look at it too critically in that regard. It is really interesting, though. I do think that the way that Pep plays the team, the fact he uses an offside trap, wants to play out of defence, use intense pressing, just with a lesser quality of player, doesn't work particularly well. I mean, they got the playoffs this year despite not being predicted to do so. I think we'll now go to 2040. That is 4 years in the future, Pep. You've got 4 more shots to try and get promoted. Will he have changed formation? Will they be doing any better? Will O'Connor, who was their top goal scorer, he's nuts. How have they not done more with this guy in their team? He's insane. 20 goals on loan from Swansea. He's good, isn't he? Well, Pep, try and sign Sean permanently, or at least until the end of next season. Good luck, Godspeed, Boston. Get back to the promised land, please. So the year is 2040. Pep Guardiola is 69. Nice. Where are Boston United, more importantly? They're still in the National League. Oh, my word. Okay, so they finished 7th. That was when we were last here. They then finished 7th, 2nd, 6th. And then this year they finished 5th. Did they win the playoffs? No, they're not even in the playoff final. What has happened here? What has happened here through the years? I need to know. They've made it to the playoff every single season since we left. So if we just look at things here, this is the year where they didn't make it because they finished 12th. This is the year that we were last here for where they lost in the first round. So in 36-37, they lost to Accrington Stanley. Who are they? The year after that, they got to the semi-final with a bye and then lost to Telford, who lost in the final. In 2039, they lost on penalties to Bradford City. And in 2040, they lost to Telford again. Oh, Boston. This is a bit sad, isn't it? 5 years in a row they've made it to the playoffs. We were talking just at the start about the fact, 2 playoff attempts, at the second attempt going up was unlikely. It's not going to plan. What was their media prediction? First, oh, Pep, how good's the team now then? They must have some really good players. They've got Miles Henley, who's also vice-captain. He's 21. He looks absolutely insane. Wow. He's really, really good, the 21-year-old. No wonder he's considered their key man. So they were predicted to finish top. Was Henley their top goal scorer? He wasn't. Xavier Thompson-Sexton, what a name that is, on loan from Mansfield, was their kind of big goal-scoring threat. In terms of average rating, he was also their best player. Looking like they did have a fair few loans in the team. I'm just curious. They were predicted to finish top. And actually, you can see here, wow, they had a lot of players in the Media Dream 11. How many of these are actually contracted to the club? Wow, Adrian Gale signed on a freebie from West Ham. He's insane for this level. Okay, I can see why they were predicted to do really well. Pep, have you tried anything different, Pep? It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. He's playing the same blooming system, everyone. They made it to the semi-final of the FA Trophy again. I'm assuming that they've not won the FA Trophy since we were last here. Indeed, they have not. No real cup success, unfortunately. If we just look at competitions here, you can kind of see the lie of the land. They've not really won anything. They finished 3rd place in the Under-18s Division 3 North East. That might be the most... Actually, I say that. I was going to say that's the most success Pep's had. They've actually done it 3 times over the years. It's not great, is it? It's not looking particularly great for Pep. I mean, he's got 5 more years to get back to the Football League. I fear that they will just be relegated away again anyway. Let's go forward for the last time. Pep, just win the playoffs once more. Do it for me, please. We've reached the end, everyone. Pep Guardiola, he's actually just unemployed. I think that United might have just cancelled his job offer, which is a little bit sad because he's been holding out for them all these years and now he's just not got anywhere to go. But yes, his time at Boston United is over. Did he get them promoted? Did he get them promoted? No, he didn't. Oh, it's a disaster. They finished in the playoffs every year as well? Is that right? Actually, in 2041-42, I don't think they did. Every year through these years, I mean, that's insane, isn't it? How many? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 playoffs in 10 years. And he just couldn't get them back. Is he at least in their favourite personnel? He is. He made it, everyone. He made it. I don't know why I'm punching the air like it's some really significant moment. Finances are okay. If we look at the landmarks, the FA Trophy runners-up this year. Oh, no. Oh, my word. In Pep's last season, they lost the playoff final to Bolton and then lost the FA Trophy final to Wrexham in his final game as a manager. Let's have a look at the stats for these. Were they FM'd? No. Bolton were the better team there. What about in the final? A chance for silverware. Oh, Pep. I want to give him a cuddle and tell him it's all going to be okay. I mean, I'm sad as a Boston United fan. I'm just sad for Pep. I've not even, really got an affinity for Pep in real life. But in this adventure, I feel like we've seen him struggle. Right, so how did the playoffs go? This year, they lost the final. In 2044, they lost the final on penalties. What about in 2043? They lost after extra time to Hartlepool. 41, they didn't make it, sadly. And then that was 42. 41, they did make it. They lost to Hartlepool again. 2 playoff final losses in a row. And they just didn't get back to the Football League. They tasted glory once, and then for a decade, they've just bottled the playoff year after year after year with Pep at the club. I mean, to be fair to Pep, every single year the media prediction's been pretty, good. Obviously, he's kind of underperformed to it some years, but his actual squad building hasn't been terrible by any means. Just looking at the salaries of some of the players here, it looks like Boston are spending a lot more money, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if they had a big cup run or something, or if Pep just decided to start splashing the cash. Either way, it's not really worked out. I was really hoping he was going to get to the League 1, League 2, establish himself, prove his worth. And instead he's bottled the playoffs 9 out of 11 years. Pep. 9,131 days at Boston United. His biggest spend was on Cole Avenel, who is still at Boston now, to be fair. They spent 27k on him. Mr. Moneybags over here. Luke Burke's their most significant sale. He actually generated at Boston United and they sold him to Sunderland for 600k. Oh, I feel like we've been on an adventure with Pep here, but it's just not worked out, has it? It's just not meant to be, Pep. It's just not meant to have been. I mean, can we look at, like, career stats, milestones? He's not had a milestone in 12 years. I mean, when you look at it like that, it's not great. If we look at all, I mean, he got on the shortlist for Manager of the Year. I mean, I'm sure there's some bits here that you guys will spot that I've missed. But I'm going to be honest, I am very, very underwhelmed by what Pep has achieved at the club. I mean, it's just not been very good. Compared to last year, the bar was set high. He has let us down quite significantly. Now, I have seen a load of you guys asking about if I'm going to do Klopp at a non-league club or some other different experiments. I've got a few ideas with managers, but off the back of this one where not a huge amount changed, I've got some kind of slightly different ideas to this one, I suppose, that are going to be upcoming. Of course, we did a video of what if Messi never retired or couldn't retire. If you want to check out that video, please do. I will have a Ronaldo video in a similar vein coming up in the not-so-distant future, which I hope you guys are looking for. And, well, that's going to wrap up Pep at a non-league club for FM21. If you have enjoyed the video, please do drop a like on it. I will catch you guys again very soon. It is me, Jack, and I'm out.